Oh, right, okay, cool.
We don't know which one yet, though.
7, yay!
Yay!
Have you got anything? Oh, I've got some creepy crawlies.
I haven't been to Fairburn Ings for a number of years. It's changed radically, actually. Firstly, in terms of the visitor centre. Now, it's actually important, the cafe and the visitor centre, because it draws in a different type of person to this site. And we want everyone to come that can possibly come here so that we can instigate an interest in natural history. But then outside of that, the reserve has undergone a lot more intensive management, and it's clearly paying dividends. You know, breeding spoonbills, who'd have thought that? Spoonies, teaspoons in the nest, and also for the second year running black-necked grebes. It's hats off to Fairburn Ings. There's no doubt at all that what they're doing here, if we were doing it in the wider countryside, probably wouldn't need to be doing this Bioblitz. Fairburn Ings. It's got a bit of a reputation for being a top spot from us southerners, and we gravitate up here to see exciting things. What's been going on?
We've got the spoonbills breeding for the second year. Seem to stem from a cormorant colony when they first started breeding, and so I'll expand it from that. Then we've got the black-necked grebes on the restored solid pools that have bred for the second year running.
So in terms of breeding birds, it's definitely on the increase. What about other species though? Because I remember the last time I came here, there was excitement about grasshopper warblers, willow tits and yellow wagtails. Is that still going on?
Yeah, it's still, the willow tits are about, well, I've been surveying here for 35 years, willow tits are about holding their own. Yellow wagtails, not such a good story. Sort of peated away as a breeding species.
So no breeding birds now?
A bit like meadow pipits, they've gone.
They've gone?
Yeah, they were here 35 years ago, there were 25 pairs. Now they've gone.
Yeah. Okay, and what about the grasshopper warblers?
Grasshopper warblers varies about 3 pairs annually.
Yeah.
That's about standard.
But what about in the wider countryside? I mean, Fairburn's, you know, a small area which is intensively managed and it's working. We can't argue with that. You've got your black-necked grebes, your spoonbills. Okay, your whitethroats have gone up and down a bit, but as you say, it's improved the landscape for other species. But what about outside? What do you think are the principal reasons for concern?
Well, I think near me home, when I first moved there when I was at school, there were like flocks of yellowhammers in the hedgerows along the field edges. I could see 30 yellowhammers from my back garden. Now there's none. No yellowhammers at all there. The hedgerows have been taken out. There's just like no habitat for them. I think that's happened to a lot of countryside birds.
So it's farmland management then, basically?
In that respect, I'm not saying entirely, but for things like yellowhammers near me, I would say it probably was, yeah.
Ollie, Liberty, tell me what you get up to when you come along to Fairburn of a day.
Well, firstly we fill up the feeders so the birds can have their breakfast or dinner, and then after that we just walk around talking to people, telling where stuff is and generally having fun.
Generally having fun. What about you, Liberty?
Well, we try to educate young people to get them spark and involvement in nature.
And how do you do that?
Just showing them things from a young age, so if you can get that spark early on, then hopefully it'll include a later life and they'll carry on the passion of.
And what's your favourite thing about Fairburn?
Just the people and the wildlife there, and just...
Yeah, it's reserved for anyone, so any type of person can come here because there's a park for little kids that they can play on. It's very big, so loads of birders can come and explore.
If you could tell us one thing to do, if you were king of conservation, queen of conservation for a day, okay, what would you tell us conservationists to do to make the world a better place for you guys as well as ourselves?
Get everybody involved in a big wildlife watch day and get people inspired more.
Yeah, sort of educate people, get as many people involved as possible, make it a national day if it has to be that big, and just tell people about it and Try to get everyone involved.
So you think we should have a National Wildlife Day,
Yeah.
a bit like a bank holiday,
Yeah.
okay, where everyone stops and takes an interest in nature?
Yeah.
Do you know what? This is probably one of the best ideas I've heard for ages. And do you know what? I think we probably sell that idea because it means that people get a day off work. And then all we've got to do is to make sure that rather than watch TV or go and play football or go to a pub, they actually just get into wildlife.
Yeah.
I might nip your idea if that's okay.
Yes,
Can I nip your idea? I'll credit you, Ollie and Liberty, with that idea, but I think it's a good one. It is a good one.